Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So this is going to be part one of a two-part farming mini-series, I suppose, where I'm going to cover what I do for my farming gains for GP in the game. Now, this video is going to cover herbs and also the allotment patches as well, because we've had some updates to the herb setup which I released last year, which I think is worthwhile doing. Now, during my RS time, farming herb runs has been a staple for me making cash. I've probably made billions from doing herb runs, and it's something I encourage every new player to get into, because it's practically such easy money for you to get and very low requirements as well. Now, herbs generally respawn every 90 minutes, although with the Garden of Kareed you can also get the speedy growth as well, which brings those down to roughly about an hour to grow your herbs. Now, if you are enjoying the videos, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. These one-off sort of skilling things like we did with construction last week seem to be going down really well, so if you guys do enjoy them and if we get the likes on the video, I'll definitely delve into more videos like this and make like two-part videos on how I've trained, as well as like what methods are going down really well as well. So for this video, the herb lore section is definitely going to have a lot more into it in terms of like what I'm telling you about setups and stuff. And then the second video, I'm going to go over like the extra herb runs and extra things you can go and do for some more profit from farming. Farming is an insane skill to make you some GP, and I'm going to try and highlight all the things I've done over the past to make GP from it. So let's talk about Invo and how I've set everything up in terms of my farming runs. Really, for a farming run, to do all the herb patches, I'm looking to do it in a 1 dose of the Juju potion. So there are some things I do for it as well, but you don't have to do that. If you wanted to take 2 doses of the Juju farming potion, it's only going to cost you another 10k, and it means you're not in a rush. And to be fair, it's probably going to save money compared to what I'm going to do, but I'll point that out when we're doing the runs as well. So items which are really important is going to be the master farming outfit. Now, this is going to be the invention outfit where you have to buy the blueprints from Granny in player-owned farms. Player-owned farms is going to be a slightly different thing, which we'll delve into another time. Grab the Hog is going to be our guinea pig, for better terms, in the player-owned farm series for that. But it is a very worthwhile piece of equipment to go and get. It's going to give you a bonus, loads of perks, the ability to teleport at certain things as well. What's nice for us is the ability to get some more crops and stuff as well, which is going to make some profit. And it's also going to give you an XP buff as well, which is always good. Now, if you have the farming cape, the farming cape is really nice for a few benefits. Now, I use the 121, and this gives you a chance to instantly harvest all the crops from a certain spot, which is really nice. And all patches are automatically having a super compost down as well. So all of my herbs are going to be used with super compost. You can use ultra compost if you want to. Normally, the herbs will pay it off as well, so that is also an option. And to be fair, on a lower level account where I don't have the 120 farming cape, I'd probably do that. This is just a nice quality of life where I don't have to do it as well. Now, Grace of the Elves, completely over the top and not necessary at all. Because my Invo is quite small and we're going to be harvesting a lot of herbs, that is sometimes what I'll use the Grace of the Elves for. Normally, I try and avoid it, but it can be an option if you wanted to as well. The Cabbage teleport or the Explorer's Ring teleport from the Lumbee and Draenor achievement diary, really easy to do. Not too big in terms of the requirements, and this is a really nice item because it teleports us very close to one of the patches. It also gives you the ability to do some alching as well. Really nice little item to go and get, to be fair. Now, I have a Grasping Rune Pouch. Again, this is to go and help with inventory and inventory management. These are all of the runes I need to cast all the lunar spells to basically hop between all the different patches. We do have things like the Troll Hum patch, which is going to benefit us as well. And I get asked a lot about the runic staff. So this is an item which you can get from Runespan. It does take a lot of Runespan sort of components, but it is a very, very good looking item. And whenever it's in a thumbnail, people always ask what it is. That's what the Greater Runic Staff is. And what it can do, you can tie it to one spell where it can automatically cast. And for this, I use this for remote farming. And this was before we had the remote farming thing in player-owned farms. But what remote farming does is a spell where from Livid Farm, you can basically control all of your patches. And this was really when I was in herb farming season. And it just means I know when the patches are grown and also when I can cure and fertilize from there as well. So really, really useful to have. Really decent item to have as well. So very good there. And then in terms of the rest of it, just an attuned crystal teleport because we are going to go to Prith. Again, kind of unnecessary. You can use the lodestone, and to be fair, the lodestone network is very, very handy for all these farming spots. I just use this to move quicker because, again, I want to go and do it under one Juju farming potion. So, inventory. What have we got in the inventory? So, I have got an exofile. Now, this can be replaced by the master hat as well. You don't actually need to use an exofile now because you can teleport directly to the Mauritania patch with the master hat, and also with the farmer's straw hat as well. You can also go directly there. A mystic sand seed to the Garden of Kareed. which is very nice because it's a direct teleport. The Garden of Kareed is a very good thing if you're doing herb farming. It's something you accumulate rewards from there when you're doing your herb farming. You need level 50 farming and you need to speak to the droids before starting it, but once you've started it, any passive herb farming you do, you will gain points for the reward shop there, which is also really, really nice. Now, the Juju farming potion is going to give us a 33% chance of doubling herb every time we go and harvest. Again, it pays for itself. It makes herb farming so profitable and it's such a worthwhile item. We have Starbloom flower seeds, which are a brand new seed to put in the flowers patch. Again, this will make us a lot of money and I'll show you guys a little bit later on. I have dwarf weed seeds, and with the Garden of Kareed, you now have the ability to plant multiple seeds. I have the max amount of plant power, so I'm going to be planting 10 herb seeds per patch. In terms of which herb seeds are currently the best, there's a wiki calculator I'll put in the description just so we're not having to overanalyze in terms of the video and extend the video longer than it needs to be. But dwarf weed have always worked very well for me. Dwarf weed are very good. Marintil, surprisingly, are incredibly good as well. Marintil actually performs well alongside the high tier herbs. And just your standard ones, which you're going to be using extremes, are the ones to stick with as well. Now, I have a Wilderness 4 sword, which is going to teleport us directly to the Wilderness patch. And also the Dwarven Harvester. Now, if you have some of the Dwarven tools in your bank, the Harvester is probably the most worthwhile in my opinion, because what this is going to do is automatically double your herb yield. So you can use the Harvester to convert into cash by just farming extra herbs as well. Now, this works on top of things like the Juju farming potion, the farming aura, the green fingers aura, which we're going to talk over in a second as well. So it's really nice to go and rack them up. Now, bomb vials is something which are completely unnecessary and also to a point quite expensive as well. Now, what a liquid patch bomb vial does is basically going to automatically empty your patch and give you everything noted. Now, the reason why I use them is because I create them myself with my invention machine. So in terms of what I put in my machines, generally I put either seeds or body runes to go and get the components needed to make these bombs. Now, are they worth the price they're currently valued at, 140k? No. If anything, I would recommend you guys to just simply take another dose of Juju farming potion and bank in between your runs. The teleports I've got are so close to all the patches, you don't really need to do it. So what I could show you guys is a little bit later on. Maybe I'll do it on a little mop-up video of these farming ones. We'll do one without the vial and I can record how long it's going to take. But really, we want to crack this farming run in under 5 minutes. But if I did it without the bomb vials, you're probably looking about 10ish. Because you're going to get so many herbs, because you're going to have the Juju farming potion giving you extra herbs, and also the Dwarven Harvester is going to go to work. Now, one thing I would say as well, if you use the liquid patch bomb, the Dwarven Harvester only uses one charge, as opposed to using multiple charges when we're not using it as well. However, the only other thing I'm going to mention as well is going to be the legendary green fingers aura. This is going to give us a 15% chance of an extra crop. Again, all of this added on just means we're going to get a big chance of making extra herbs as well. And one final thing as well, depending on if you have a decent amount of player-owned farm beans, you can buy the Supreme Growth Potions, the leafy kind, which for 1000 beans will instantly grow one of your patches, which I'm going to actually have to use now because I did a little bit of a test at the first patch and it basically used it as well. So for 9 minutes, that has been a little bit of a go through of my inventory as well as what I use for my farm run. I'm going to show you guys really quickly now a full farm run as well. And when we do the other video of all the other stuff I sort of do for farming to make profit, it will hopefully make a lot more sense because we won't have to explain this. We can just jump straight into the farming. So really nice there. Now, I'm probably going to do a video on Supreme Growth Potions because, again, you can boost player-owned farm beans quite easily. And it's a really good way to make some money if you're looking to do it as well. Player-owned farm beans, using those for leafy growth potions will make you a lot of money. So I'm going to do that at some point in the near future. Again, if you guys really want to see it, let me know and I'll push it further to the queue. But now it's time to go and do our little farm run. Again, if I've missed anything off, by all means, drop them in the comment section below. We are always trying to help people in terms of like the content and stuff. So anything we can do to help is what I'm trying to do as well. Now, one thing I also have access to is a Perfect Plus potion, which is why we'll get some Harmony Moss as well. And when we do that additional video going over the Supreme Growth Potions, I'll tie in a bit of the Garden of Kareed as well. Just because I think it's such a good thing to pick up and show you guys like what you can do for that to just benefit your herb runs as well. Now we're going to go and do the Starbloom flowers. So the Starbloom flowers are a brand new item which was released with 110 crafting. This basically makes it so worthwhile to do your flower patches because these are worth 24,000 coins each. So we have done the first one, so let's go and rattle off these as quick as possible. I have my timer now with the 5 minutes on the Juju farming potion, and then we'll rattle off as quick as we can. Now what I'm probably going to do is just speed up this clip of me just running between all the different farming patches, just so you guys can just see like what my routine is. But once you get into the habit of farm runs especially, they become so quick, because it just becomes almost muscle memory. So like, I've done farm runs now probably well over 10 years. It was something I used to do alongside Slayer. It's a really good skill to do like alongside Slayer, or something where you're going to be like banking often. You can tie a farm run in and you'll just make so much more profit during your actual game time, because you're actually tying in things which will make profit alongside other skills. Farming shouldn't be a one-off skill you just train by itself. It should always be like a skill you tie in with other stuff, because while your stuff's farming, you can go and train Slayer, in any skill really, and it's a good way to go and make some extra GP from that as well. Now there are some spots where I don't have the star bloom, but we'll know that when we get there, because every star bloom spot is going to give us 12, but because we've got the Dwarven Harvester, that's what's giving us 24. We're getting double the star bloom, just because we've got the Dwarven Harvester, which is really nice. Now, like I mentioned before, the Master Farmer's Hat will teleport us directly to Mauritania. You can do this 3 times a day, which if you do go past the 3 times a day, the Ectophile or even the Canaphis teleport is a very good way to go and do this. But all the items I've mentioned at the beginning are just going to make your runs more efficient. And that's really what you want from farming, is just to be efficient in terms of your runs. But for the sake of saving probably what's going to be about 700k in terms of bomb vials, I would really just recommend that you guys just simply take another dose of Juju Farming Potion. At worst case, it's going to be 15k, and you'll just make so much more money with what you're going to save as well. I'm just surely doing this for speed. I'm still going to make some profit because I make my own, but I just wanted to show you guys, like, look, this is what you can use if you wanted to. Invo space can be a little bit annoying with this method, so it's one of those where you just need to work around. Now, the Garden of Kareed, I still think is quite underknown, so when we do the video going over leafy growth potions and stuff like that, I'll make sure to do a little bit on this, because the reward shop is very good if you're able to do it. And if you didn't know about it, you'll need level 50 farming to do it. And we're actually at the final herb patch. So this is going to be the Wilderness Sword. Very sort of nice for this. The Wilderness patch, you can farm Bloodweed, and Bloodweed is normally the best one to go and do. I just like to do this. I just like to keep the same herb I'm doing anyway. So we only actually got 1 patch of the Starbloom flowers, which is not bad, to be fair. I'll show you guys like the kind of profits we can make. But that is pretty much our run done in 3 minutes. Didn't do too bad with that at all, actually. I'm quite happy with that. So, a few things to show you guys is that the cost of a Star Bloom flower patch is currently going to be 66,000 coins. Now, this is with the Harvester, so take it with a pinch of salt. So, if we're going to do 12, we're going to make a price of 290k. So, from 1 flower patch, we're going to make a profit of 230k. If we were going to use the Dwarven Harvester, because again, I do think it's the best Dwarven tool, you're going to make 520k per flower patch. And I think there's roughly 4 or 5 flower patches you guys can use and plant these as well, which is really nice. And then in terms of the herbs, we are going to have a look at the herbs now. So we've used 80 of these seeds. So if we just find out what 10 is. So let's say we've spent 200k on dwarfweed seeds. And if we go on patch bombs, we've used 8 of those. Let's say we've used a mil worth of patch bombs. So 1.2 mil is what we've currently done. We've just made 4.7 mil in terms of herbs. Now, admittedly, this is with the Dwarven Harvester, so you can actually half it. So if we go 416, that is how much you've made in terms of just a normal run. So really, with the bomb vials, it's a bit over the top. I really wouldn't recommend it unless you're happy to lose that much profit on top. But you've still pretty much made 1 mil for a herb run, which took me 2 minutes. And there'll be times where these potions will spike. You can also throw these potions into things like your potion maker as well, which will make more money on top of that. It's just herb runs are just so good, and they will always be one of those things I will continue to do on my account. Even though I'm max XP in farming, you just can't say no to something like a 5 mil farm run. And in terms of charges, I think we've used something like, maybe we've used 100 charges. And as you can see here, this Crook's Favor is what I've been earning from doing the Garden of Kareed. So every time I plant the herb, I earn this as well. And from the Garden of Kareed, you can get some really nice rewards. You can get some of the instant growth potions, which you can buy from Granny, but they're more expensive. But there's some really good unlocks from the droid shop, which I'll show you guys a little bit later on in the video. However, I'm going to wrap it up here because it's quite a long video already. I'm hoping I've packed in enough for you guys to get enough value from it as well. We're going to do another video tomorrow where we're going to go over all the other things you can do in terms of farming run, why you've still got your Green Fingers aura intact as well. So while Green Fingers is still available, we're going to go and do something off the back of this and go and make some more GP as well. However, thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.